Hi there, Tess here. I'm so excited because today I'm going to talk to you about poo. Yes, you heard me right. We're going to talk about bowel motions. And I know it's maybe an uncomfortable topic for some people, but hey, the bowel is one of the most important detoxification organs in your body. Okay? You have to look after your bowel. So in my clinic, I talk about bowel motions with every client. And in fact, I've actually put this up. Some of you may have seen this in some of my adventures out there. This is a Bristol stool chart, and I've got one of these set up in my downstairs bathroom, just around the corner, and it's also my client bathroom. So it's always a wonderful discussion when someone pops out and they've seen this. We have a discussion about their bowel motions. Kids love it. So anyway, just for those of you who have wondered, this one over here, a number 4, is actually the perfect number 2. All right, this is the queen of poo. And over the next few videos, I'm very excited to come and talk to you about how we can get our bodies to eliminate through the bowel and produce the perfect poo, the queen of poos. Okay, if you're not laughing by now, sorry. Here we go, guys. Prepared this for you earlier. So we're going to talk about, this is the bowel, also known as the large intestine or the colon. All right. So what happens is food comes in there, we chew it, we mix it with saliva, it forms a nice little sloppy bolus, we swallow it down, and you know what? Just going to say here, you need to chew your food. We all need to chew our food. Eat slowly, chew our food, savor the food. There's reasons for that, okay? That digestion starts over there. So food then travels down here into the stomach. Hydrochloric acid, topic for another discussion, but my golly, hydrochloric acid is so important. We must have very, very good hydrochloric acid in our stomach. It has many follow-on health effects if we don't. Okay. Then the food travels through the small intestine over there. This is where most of the digestion takes place. And the reason for that is because the liver produces bile, stores it in the gallbladder, that gets squeezed in here into the small intestine, as well as the pancreas releasing its enzymes for digesting the food into the nutrients that we require. So this is digestive process taking place and through the small intestine and then absorbed into our bloodstream. Okay, so this is the function there. Now, whatever is left over, so there'll be some water left over, some salts, some nutrients, some, toxins and waste products that, we've spoken about that before, that the liver actually has to clean, detoxify for us and neutralize for us. So it all ends up here in the bowel, okay? And this little guy over there, that's the appendix, which may or may not, according to new science, it may contain some good bowel flora, some good bacteria to repopulate and recolonize after, we've maybe had a bout of diarrhea or something like that. Anyway, so the main job of the large intestine is to, I'll put this down, is to absorb the excess water, because the body likes to use, what it can use. So it absorbs, it pulls out the water out of the waste product. So it forms this solid waste that we call feces, or for the purposes of this video, poo. Okay, now poo contains all of the following things. Where's my little note? I did make a note on it. Anyway, it contains the hormonal metabolites like excess estrogen that the liver's now done its job with, and harmful waste products. There's also fiber that comes out that's undigestible, and there's also unabsorbed products that come out. There's sloughed off, I don't know if I pronounced that word, but sloughed off cells, dead cells from your inside of your colon. A lot of bacteria contained in the poo, as well as some other pathogens as well. Okay, so there's a lot of, it's just waste and toxins in the body, and undigested food products and unabsorbed. So off it goes. All right, now the function of the bowel is also not just to eliminate the waste, but as I said, to absorb again what can be used. There's also the bowel bacteria to consider, and these guys play an incredible important role in sort of the final fermentation processes that take place as well to create more nutrients for the body as well, vitamin K and B12 for example. And they also play a role in our immune system. Okay, a very big part in our immune system. So let's quickly talk about what happens with this whole, the organ as a detoxification organ. Okay. You know, I just want to say this. You really want to have a bowel motion every day. Okay, some people say, yeah, once every 3 days. I can't imagine not having a bowel motion every day. Okay, to me, that is where, you know, our body clock comes into play between 5 and 7 a.m. in the morning. Well, you know what? That's the time that I want to be in the smallest room in the house. Okay, and I know I'm doing something good for my body. So a bowel motion every day, and you might want to have between 1 and 3 bowel motions after you've eaten, for example, after main meals. All right, so just consider that. And you want to have an easy to pass bowel motion, right? As I said to you, that queen of poo, that number 4 poo, that's the way to go. We'll educate you on how to get that right. Okay, so we just need to clear out all this junk from our body. Okay, and the reason we need that, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why it's important. So when your bowels are sluggish and if they're not moving on a daily basis, it becomes toxic in there, and your whole body actually becomes toxic. And so what happens is, if your poo stays in your body for longer than what it should, all that waste product with all those toxins, and your body is absorbing through the colon the water, it's going to absorb some of the toxins back into your system. Okay, there's actually a word for it. It's called auto-intoxication. And it becomes really difficult to pass a bowel motion that has had its water removed. It's not hydrated, so it becomes hard and lumpy, and you know, then you're going to have that number 1 sort of situation, maybe, you know, if you're lucky. I've had a woman in here who said to me, and I was horrified. I try not to react in clinic to people, you know, no judgment. This was hard for me because she said to me, she hadn't had a bowel motion in 2 weeks. 2 weeks. 2 weeks, folks. You know, no wonder she was miserable and irritable and headachy and pain. You know, she had painful joints and she had no energy and she wasn't sleeping well. You know why? Because her body was just toxic. Anyway, we sorted it out really, really quickly. And I'll tell you how we do that, okay? We'll tell you, not today. Not in this video, I should say. You can carry on and watch more videos. So, the other reasons that, you know, we want to make sure that we have bowel motions is because it actually supports our immune system. Okay, if you didn't know that, our gut contains a large proportion, a large percentage of our immune cells, and it includes, you know, it's our lymphatic tissue in there in the gut. It's actually called the GALT, gut-associated lymphatic tissue, GALT, and of course it's assisted by the microbiome, so our gut flora, our good bacteria. So that's important. And also the stomach acid actually helps with that immune response as well. So need to poo. All right, it's important. There's a whole process involved with that, how it supports the immune system. I'm just giving you the little highlights, the little snippets now. When you poo every day, you're also promoting a healthy hormone balance in your body. So as you know from before, the liver actually helps to metabolize excess estrogen and hormones, and then those metabolites need to leave the body. And the gut, the bowel, is the direct route for eliminating those toxic products from the hormones as well. So if your bowels are not performing at an optimum level, one of the first things you're going to see is like acne. Okay, you can also have hot flushes. These are hormonal reasons as well. Painful periods for the girls. Okay, headaches, all of those sorts of things. And then of course there's just this domino effect that starts to happen. And it can affect not just your sex hormones, but it can then affect your other hormones as well, like your thyroid hormone. Everything's connected. Okay, there's nothing in the body that just happens on its own. It's connected to everything else. So yeah, you need to poo every day to help support the hormonal system as well. When you poo every day, you also help your nervous system. You calm your nervous system. Isn't that very cool? All right. And the fact is your body's just, your gut is linked to everything that happens in your body on a daily basis. It's just, it's sort of an overall expression. Your gut health is an overall expression of your whole health, your whole body health. And your gut's got its own little brain there. It's called the enteric nervous system. We'll talk a little bit more about that when we talk about gut-brain connection and in another video. But your gut brain operates quite independently from your brain in your head, but they're very, very connected. They have a strong feedback connection. There's a strong system. So just think about how, for example, your symptoms, stress, for example, can worsen digestive symptoms. So a lot of people, when they go under stress or have some emotional traumatic experience, they might find that suddenly there's diarrhea, or they feel nausea, or they want to vomit. Okay, it's that gut response to stress. And then I also know that people, and there's science on this, that people with chronic digestive issues are actually more prone to mood and mental health issues, anxiety and depressive states. Yeah, the two are very, very linked, and we can talk a little bit later again on that gut-brain connection that we have. So just think about how your emotions are, so linked to your gut. I mean, you often say things like, "Well, I have a gut feeling about that," yeah, or "Oh, that's a kick in the guts," or yeah, we use the gut often in our emotional language, don't we? And there's actually a reason for that. And the reason for that is that our gut produces about 90% of our feel-good neurotransmitter, serotonin. And it also contains most of the serotonin receptors. So it's kind of like serotonin, our feel-good neurotransmitter. That's where all the messages are happening, is in the gut, So my big message to you is to absolutely listen to your gut. That's where the message is heard for our feel-good neurotransmitters. And so when our colon clogs up and we're not moving our bowels every day, I'm just going to summarize here today. I think it's good, good spot to stop. It becomes a toxic environment. That's just period. It becomes toxic. And when we have a toxic environment, it means that your colon itself is toxic. That can lead to a whole lot of colon issues, and I don't even want to mention the big names there of disease states. But your whole body can go into this weakened state of toxicity and possibly a nutritional crisis as well. It can follow on to the heart. It can follow on to every part of your body. So I'm going to end up there for today, and we'll continue next time, talk a little bit more about how we can actually support our system to go from here and here and maybe from there to find this perfect poo. All right, wouldn't that be exciting? Anyway, folks, if you have any questions or any comments, leave them in the comments below, and I'd love to communicate with you. Stay tuned, there will be more. Okay, bye.